Akala ng marami flash crash lang ang nangyari kay BTC at bukas balik 100,000 na. Ngayon pa lang, i-reset na natin yung expectation. Ang weekend drop na sumilip below 75,000, hindi lang basta drama candle. May mga macro level signals na nagsasabing ang recovery pabalik sa 100,000 pwedeng hindi quick bounce, kundi months ang usapan. At dito tayo madalas natatalo kapag gusto natin instant comeback. Pero ang market ang gusto ay accumulation at time. Una, ilagay natin sa context kung anong nangyari sa weekly close. Nag-close ang Bitcoin, weekly candle around 76,000 noong Sunday at dahil dito nawala ang hawak niya sa 100-week moving average. First time itong nangyari since October 2023 at kapag ang usapan ay 100-week SMA, hindi ito simpleng line sa chart. Ito yung long-term weekly trend gauge na madalas nagsasabi kung nasa macro uptrend pa o nag-shift na. Ngayon, ang 100-week SMA is sitting near 87,500. Ibig sabihin, kahit nasa 78,000 tayo ngayon, malayo ang kailangang bawiin para lang ma-reclaim yung macro level na yan. At bakit sinasabing maaaring months bago makabalik sa 100,000? Kasi kapag tiningnan natin ang history, maraming beses na kapag bumaba si Bitcoin under the 100-week SMA, hindi siya mabilis bumabalik. May mga period na nagtatagal siya sa ilalim, nagre-range, nag-accumulate bago mag-next leg. May mga historical examples na dapat maintindihan natin. Sa cycle ng 2014 to 2015, after the 2013 bull market, nagstay si BTC under the 100-week SMA for 357 days. Halos isang taon. At sa panahon na yun, nagre-range ang price between $200 at $600. Hindi siya rebound agad kundi slow grind at accumulation. Sa 2018 to 2019, umabot naman ng 182 days yung stay below the 100-week SMA that coincided with the bear market bottom zone between $3,000 and $6,000. Again, hindi instant, may panahon ng pagbuo ng base. Sa 2022, after the FTX collapse, mas grabe, 532 days below the 100-week SMA, consolidating between 16,000 and 25,000. Halos 1.5 years, and every instance, ang pattern, accumulation phase, not quick rebound. Kaya ngayon, kapag nakikita natin na nawala ulit ang level, logical ang conclusion ng maraming analyst. Time might be the key factor again bago makita ang next sustained bullish period. Ngayon, hindi lang SMA ang issue. May isa pang risk signal na lumabas, USDT dominance. In simple terms, kapag tumataas ang USDT dominance, ibig sabihin mas maraming capital ang pumupunta sa stablecoin safety kesa sa crypto risk. May analyst na nag-highlight na nag-weekly close above 7.2% ang USDT dominance chart. Historically, a close above 6.7% was used as a confirmation of bearish condition. At ngayon, itong breakout above 7.2%, first time in more than 2.5 years. Kaya sa market psychology, parang sinasabi nito, risk off pa rin ang crowd. Mas gusto nila cash equivalent habang uncertain. Next, pag-usapan natin yung pinaka-obvious na resistance zone, 85,000. Bakit 85,000? Kasi noong fourth quarter ng 2025, more than $120 billion in spot volume ang na-trade between 85,000 and 95,000. Ibig sabihin, sobrang daming holders ang may cost basis sa zone na yan. Ngayon, with BTC near 78,000, maraming underwater. So kapag umakyat ang price pabalik sa 85,000, malaki ang chance na mag-steady selling pressure. Bakit? Kasi maraming traders ang maghahanap ng break-even exit. Pag naka-recover na sa entry ko, labas na ako. That behavior turns a zone into a sell wall. At dagdag pa, ang realized price ng 1 to 3 month holders is currently around 91,500. Ibig sabihin sa short-term holder group, mas mataas pa ang average cost basis. Kaya mas maraming supply ang posibleng lumabas kapag nag-rally. So kahit may bounce, hindi automatic na tuloy-tuloy hanggang 100,000. Pwedeng maubos sa resistance layers. Ngayon, may isa pang angle, fractal structure. Ang fractal parang similar shape sa past pattern, pero hindi siya prophecy. Ang point dito, nagbibigay ito ng warning na may comparable setup. Sa weekly structure ngayon, may similarity sa 2022 dip. Nung time na yon, nag-form si BTC ng lower high na wala ang 100-week SMA, nag-attempt ng recovery, pero hindi nag-sustain tapos nag-deeper correction. Ngayon sa 2026, may similar vibe na nakikita. Lower high, loss of the 100-week SMA and difficulty reclaiming it. Kung magpapatuloy daw ang fractal, possible revisit sa 40,000 to 45,000 range na kilala rin as established demand zone. Ulitin natin, fractals are not predictive pero pinapakita nila na elevated ang downside risk unless decisively ma-reclaim ang 100-week SMA. Okay, ngayon punta tayo sa kabilang side ng coin. Bakit may argumento na 75,000 could be the price floor of 2026? Kasi kahit may bear signals, may apat na indicators na ginagamit ng mga analysts para sabihing mahirap bumagsak materially below the year-to-date low around 74,680. At dito magiging fair tayo, hindi lang doom, hindi lang hopium, balance tayo. Una, the crash to around $74,680 noong Monday happened after massive liquidations. Total around $1.8 billion in bullish leverage position since the downturn. Ibig sabihin maraming longs ang na-wipe at typically kapag nangyari yan, nababawasan ng immediate selling pressure from forced liquidations kasi na-flush na ang leverage. Pangalawa, macro signals na hindi pa full panic. Yields on the US 2-year Treasury were around 3.54%, unchanged from 3 weeks earlier. Kung talagang may surge sa demand for government-backed safety, usually babagsak ang yields further like what happened around October 2025 when there was a prolonged government funding shutdown and weaker data. So yung steady yield suggests may risk off pero hindi run for cover na extreme. Pangatlo, equities are not collapsing. The S&P 500 was only around 0.4% below its all-time high on Monday, which signals confidence na mabilis ang resolution ng partial shutdown. May statement pa na expected agreement, again, not guarantee, pero that's the market current posture. Kung stocks are stable, less likely na magkaroon ng second wave na brutal across risk assets dahil sa pure panic. Pang-apat, derivatives resilience. Kahit down na around 40.8% from all-time high, hindi pa rin nagpapakita ng classic panic bearish positioning ang derivatives. Typically, kapag sobrang dami ng demand for bearish positions, makikita mo ang inversion sa Bitcoin futures, meaning futures trade below spot. Pero as of Monday, the futures annualized premium basis rate was around 3%. That's weak demand for leverage. Bullish position, yes, pero not a stress signal. Under neutral condition lang, normally 5 to 10%, pero ang key, walang clear signs of derivative market stress. Aggregate futures open interest remains healthy, around 40 billion. Down about 10% over the past 30 days, so the leveraging happened but the system didn't break. Ngayon, maraming tao ang natakot dahil sa ETF outflow since January 16. Spot Bitcoin ETF recorded around $3.2 billion in net outflow. Pero important details, that less than 3% of their assets under management. Ibig sabihin, malaking number pakinggan pero proportionally, hindi pa siya mass exit. Kaya may argumento na traders might be overstating the scale of outflow. Meron ding rumor fear about strategy, selling Bitcoin dahil nag-trade below net assets value. Pero may counterpoint, walang covenants forcing liquidation at specific Bitcoin price and may cash reserve sila around $1.44 billion as of December 2025 to cover dividend and interest obligations. So yung forced sell narrative hindi ganun kadali. So anong ibig sabihin nito? It means posible na may strong support around 75,000 but price may remain under pressure habang iniintindi pa ng market kung ano talaga ang drivers ng sell-off. In other words, floor possible but volatility in chop likely. Sa daily price action analysis natin, kung mapapansin nyo, nag-materialize na yung bear flag pattern at na-anticipate naman natin yung possible scenario na ito. Yung revisit niya sa low area at sinasabi nga ng marami na it looks like a head and shoulder pattern which is a bearish signal. Kaya nung mga nakaraan, although nag-rally yung price, hindi tayo naging bullish agad kasi hindi naman ito naabot yung certain level para mag-flip tayo from bearish to bullish. Medyo bitin lang yung relief rally and that's fine kasi ang price hindi naman talaga natin mapipredict na tatama sa eksaktong price level. Madalas nag-overshoot at undershoot ito. Pero ang mahalaga, na-anticipate natin yung possible direction. Katulad ngayon, nag-retest na ito sa low area. Critical yan kasi kapag nabasag pa yan, then magkakaroon tayo ng market sentiment shift na posibleng mag-trigger ng further downward price action. Kaya kailangan madepensahan yan ng mga bulls. Kailangan niya mag-bounce or possible din talaga na sumundot pa yan sa low area kasi malaki pa ang liquidity levels dito. So pwedeng mag-weak siya dyan below 70,000 then bounce. makakakita lang tayo ng bullish momentum dito kung magbabounce ito pabalik sa 88,000 and form a higher low na magbibigay sa atin ng inverse head and shoulder. At mas maganda kung binabakapan ng isang positive catalyst sa macro level para mas sustainable ang momentum, then retest sa 100,000. Sa ngayon, mananatili tayong bearish dito. There are some trade opportunity here sa lower time frame para sa mga short-term trader na nag-expect ng quick bounce. Okay? So yun lang ang crypto update natin for today. Thanks for watching again. Good luck and see you on the next video.